level of frustration with the way things happened in the first half today?
Well, it just seemed like we couldn't get out of our own way. But it's just a reminder of what this game is about. They can take some of what they showed out at the end of that game, and we can go forward with that. That's at least some taste to end up in your mouth. We're sad, obviously, for our fans that we've lost 2 in a row here at home. But if things work like you'd like to have them, they can take some of what we had at the end there and bottle it up and go forward with it.
How concerned are you about the run defense?
Well, again, overall, Baltimore really did a successful job, let's put it like that, on both sides of the ball. And it wasn't until we were able to get a little more going at the end ourselves. But we've got a lot of work to do. But we've got time to do that kind of work, and we got a short week this week, but we've got to start. That was disappointing to end up at the end getting back there and maybe having a shot at it. But when you look at the whole picture, we got outplayed today.
Jerry, that's 3 losses in a row now at home. How concerned are you about that the home field advantage doesn't seem to be what it was?
Well, I'm not going to close the stadium if you're asking me that at all. So, but seriously, those hurt. Those really hurt. I hate it. I'm so proud of every fan and every seat. Everybody's not in the seat watching on television. I hate it at home, but I hate it anytime the only real solution is to take the plus parts we got out there today. We were ragged in a lot of areas, and that can be improved on. And if we improve on that and learn from this, you saw some what happens when it starts going your way. You can make some good things happen. We've got the talent to make it happen out there. I feel good about that. But we've got a lot of work to do, and we've got a short week against a team that won today.
Do you leave here feeling encouraged by the ultimate result today? It was better than last week.
No, I'm very disappointed that we got beat today. Very disappointed. And you can't in any way sugarcoat the fact that we got beat. And there were parts of the way we got beat that were really areas we've got to get a lot better on. But there was one part of what we had happen to us out there today, and that's show what's in it. It takes a lot of stuff after going all day long, playing the way we were playing, shooting ourselves in the foot, them making some big plays. That takes something to come back and give that kind of effort at the end. I'm going to hang my hat on that. I hope our fans will.
We see with the running back position, when you consistently feed the ball to one guy like we saw with Derrick Henry tonight, running backs just in general just grow stronger and stronger throughout the game. Yep. Do you think you guys have put yourself in a situation by doing that position by committee?
I don't think so. I've seen it work good. I've been on part of teams that work good splitting it, and but I've seen it done both ways. And those we're playing some. Got a big back we're playing in the near future at Philadelphia too, but this is a good back. There's no question about it. And again, I saw Dowdle really do some good things out there today. Not that made me say, well, boy, you ought to have the ball twice as much. But I like where we are right now. I don't like the outcome of the last 2 ball games. And we were disjointed out there a lot on all phases of the ball, but at the end we did something there that we can build on. And again, you've got to think that we can play better than the way we played most of the game out there today.
You do have a big body back in Dalvin Cook sitting there in your locker room. Any desire to activate him soon and help this team out?
Well, again, I don't know that today I would point at any player at any position that might have made that much difference out there today. I think overall we had a lot of areas that we can play better in. However, we did do some good things at the end, but our offense, I thought we would have more productivity, really, in our offense. We knew they were going to be tough to defense, but all in all, it wasn't going the way I, in any way, thought it might go through the first 3 quarters, but then the way we started going at the end looked like the team that, the Cowboys look like.
I know
Coming
you're
back
not
from
afraid of
28 to
criticism,
6.
Jerry. When you look in the mirror, is there anything that, after seeing some of these 3 games, that you might have done differently as a GM to start this season?
I don't want to be trite, but I've never looked in the mirror but what I didn't have a lot of corrections to make, and I'm not trying to be cute. It just doesn't work that way. There's a few things that look okay at the time, but there's a lot of things that you can do better, and a recognition that learning from your experiences, learning from your mistakes, that's what this game has always taught me. And frankly, one of the main reasons I'm involved in it at the level I am right now is because it's a game that you can correct and do better, and you can win sometimes against the very people you beat earlier.
Does the fact that you guys came back from 28 to 6 down to make it a 3-point game at the end, does that demonstrate to you the players still buy into the coaching staff?
Well, I don't have any concern about our players buying into the coaching staff or the staff buying into the players. That's not it. What's it is technical things. What's it is not making mistakes. That's what it is. And we have every reason to believe we've got some outstanding players out there, and have every reason that in areas they can play better. And I always know this, the way the game is, there's very few times when you're out of it, as you saw out there. You're not out of a football game, and you start playing well, and that old Mo starts going the other way for the other team, and good things can happen. The last part of this game has some inspiration to it. Would like to win it, but by no means is this a death nail in the coffin for what we've had happen the last 2 weeks here.
Jerry, you talked going into the season about being all in. What does that look like throughout the rest of this season as far as upgrading at areas where this team struggled?
Yeah, well, I love our quarterback, who highest paid guy in the NFL, and I love our receiver. I like our offensive line, and frankly, I like some of the things we're doing in the defensive line. So I like our personnel. When I say all in on personnel, I like our personnel. I don't see personnel changes out here. I see everybody doing better, getting better. Those are the kinds of things I look for.
What do you like about the defensive line?
I like the way that they came back out there in the last 15 minutes out there. I love that. I think that's something we should all hang our hat on.
Watching Derrick Henry do what he did, it didn't make you rethink your approach to the run game?
We couldn't afford that.
Why not? Well, you could.
I don't know. Why can't you buy a mansion when you live in a different kind of house? We couldn't afford it. We can't make that all fit. It's simple as that.
Jerry, when CeeDee Lamb, with his body language and expression, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's productive for him in that way?
In what way?
For him to have the body language and expression that he does have when things.
Oh, I like CeeDee, and I like the way he plays, and I'm excited about having him with our team for the rest of his career, as it would sit right today. So I'm really proud of CeeDee Lamb.
Are we seeing any rust from him missing camp and some of the things that have the fumble, the penalty? He looked like he came out a number of times in the second half.
Not at all. I'm just glad to have him healthy out there rather than bunged up from camp.
What kind of weapon is Brandon Aubrey been for you guys this year?
Well, we're excited to have him as a part of the team, a weapon. And we certainly all knew that if we got within most acceptable distances that we could gotten that ball back, we might have tied that score up at least there at the end. That's the kind of confidence it gives you, and I'm sure it gives, just as it does for the fans, it gives a good feeling of inspiration to our team.
What do you think's happening to your defense early in those games? Is it a scheme thing, or are you getting schemed up? Because obviously this is 2 games in a row where they've started out real hot against you guys.
Yeah, and I don't know that there's a simple answer to that, and they were executing it differently than New Orleans did the week before, with some of the same results. Of course, they were getting running room to the outside, but maybe with just different technique to it. But it's something that certainly, as we go through the season, we've got to get better at stopping that outside run. And when they basically have the option to go inside or out, then I can tell you getting upfield has a lot of remedy right there.
Were you okay on the 2-point decisions that Mike had in the fourth quarter?
Okay there. Did you ask me about the onside kicks? I liked one. I didn't like the other decision. Seriously, with all seriousness, I liked the decision making, and we were in a position to win that game, and that was pretty impressive considering the way that we had played earlier in the game.
Is it a good thing Dak has won 12 straight against the Giants? Is that you take any solace in that going up there on a short week?
Well, I just know that not in a sense of this Giant team, how we're playing right now. We're going to be on the road, and they'll be tough. They won today, and so they'll be tough. So I'm not into at all our individual players' records against teams that we're going to be playing in the future.
What's your level of confidence that Mike Zimmer's the right? What's your level of confidence in Mike Zimmer to kind of answer some of the questions?
Very high, very high. I think you'll see some good things, and you'll see some things that he'd like to have back. I'm glad to have him.
Jerry, what gives you confidence, though, that the defense can get fixed and that we aren't going to see more of what we saw in the first half?
Because I've seen the players that are on the field do what they need to be doing to make it happen. They just need to do it more all at the same time together, and that could come. And then again, you're playing some pretty good football players and people that we played out there today. We really did know after New Orleans last week that we couldn't have dialed one up that would challenge us anymore on defense than to play Jackson and play this group. They're a Super Bowl team. They just got out of the Super Bowl. And so my point is that we have all the respect in the world for them, and they were very impressive out there for a large part of the day. But I thought it'd be good. I think it's good for us to come back and have the game we had in the fourth quarter, part of the third.
Do you worry that teams have a blueprint to beat you guys on defense? Do you worry that teams have a blueprint to beat you guys on defense?
No, not at all. The blueprint doesn't worry me. Do I worry that teams will beat us on defense? Yes, I worry about that. You should. But a blueprint, that's going a little far.
Jerry, when you saw Derrick Henry in free agency, was that ever a possibility when Derrick was a free agent? Derrick Henry, when he was a free agent?
Not really. Not really. Hats off to him. He had a great day today, and have all the respect in the world for him. And so that's what happens when you don't sign good ones. They can come back and have a great game against you. But the bottom line is we couldn't afford it.
How do you get your running back by committee going?
What?
How do you get your running back by committee going?
What was the total on the running back yards today?
51 or 61.
Yeah.
Double that. If they can get it up to 100, but if all of them make enough for 100, then that's progress.
Is that
make it so that they could double their production, and that'd be progress.
Is it more about how the games have gone the last couple, or really since the season started?
That's hard to say. I saw some good running back play out there today, and then I saw several plays that they didn't have the ball to not be trying. But that's because of the way the game was going, and that was because of what they were doing on defense. But in general, I'm very satisfied with the fact that at that part of our team, we're doing it the way we're doing it. That's not why we're sitting here with these scores of these last two ball games where they are here at home. Running back by committee is not. There's more to it, a lot more to it that you have to.
What would you put that on?
Put in the puzzle.
What would you put it on if it's not that?
I wouldn't speculate on what percent of it because, as you know, you can have everybody do a great job but one, and if he screws it up, then it could mess the whole play up. But I don't think that these last two ball games have anything to do. It could be you could look at the blocking. You could look at the way we're setting it up with our passing. You could look at a lot of things that might impact our stats with our running game. Certainly numbers of carries, you could look at that. And so that thing usually ends up needing coordinated and complementing each other. I know you hear that till you blue in the face, but it does. But I wouldn't direct the running game and lack thereof, or where we've been over the last 3 games, to any one running back at all. Because it takes some offensive linemen to blow them out of there. It takes a passing game to keep them honest, and a running game. It takes a lot of things to make that work. This wouldn't be solved with just jumping over there and getting Jimmy Brown. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you.